The City of London boasts of a booming fintech sector. However, Nigeria's fintech sector in comparison is a little bit young. How do you think they could partner to really build some mutually beneficial relationships here?
Well, I think it's I was in Yaba yesterday. I met with various of the emerging businesses, but be it Paga, Rigby, Flutterwave, and you've got some extraordinary talent here that's bursting out, and it's a great success story. We too in London have sort of since the financial crisis built through some very good strategic direction a wonderful preeminent fintech hub, and that's through strong government tone from the top, a healthy regulatory environment and some good private investment, and therefore we've got a really growing hub of expertise, and in large part this fintech sector, and as we move forward with financial services really gaining from it, is largely about collaboration. And that sense of collaboration between this great country and our own, I see as a huge opportunity, whether that's through regulatory environment, government to government, business to business, and importantly to people.
Now, one of the goals mentioned in the recent Commonwealth heads of government meetings was to increase intra-Commonwealth trade to $2 trillion by the year 2030. Now, what progress has been made so far to achieve that?
Well, we had, as you rightly said, a bit of noise in the background, but we had a very
Go ahead.
We had a very successful summit in London in April, and in advance of that, in fact, we had the what was called the Commonwealth Business Forum, and that was co-hosted not least by the City of London and CWEIC, that's the Commonwealth Enterprise and Investment Council, and a lot of great activity comes from there. And I think the opportunities across the piece for developing free trade are enormous. As we progress forward, there was a very productive and constructive discussion earlier today, and we were debating exactly this: where we should focus our time, how we should focus it, what to concentrate upon, and whether that's in infrastructure, whether that's in governance and standards, whether that's about accessing capital, all areas which provide for significant opportunity. But you look at the Commonwealth, there's a lot of shared activity, shared fundamentals, whether that's the rule of law, whether that's values, whether that's culture, whether that's language, and we can use that to best advantage. The cost of doing business between Commonwealth is considerably cheaper, some 19% cheaper. Let's make a virtue of it.
And to wrap this up, you've had a fairly interesting trip. You said to us earlier you've been to Yaba to see the tech hub there. You've been to Abuja to meet with the Vice President and some of our top politicians. But I want to know your highlights of this trip to Nigeria, your first trip. And I know that you have an extensive travel plan for the year. Where next will you be going? Which other Commonwealth countries have you got on your schedule for the year?
I'm not sure if I have a high point. I'm going to piece and stitch the whole tapestry together, and it's been just a wonderful 3 days, a glorious 3 days. And I came with the objectives of building on and advancing the ties, finding opportunities to leverage, harness and create bilateral trade and investment opportunities. Well, I'm going home with a goodie bag stuffed full of opportunity, and I'm really pleased with that. Where next? Well, I've been all over the world. So far I've visited some 20 different countries, a number of Commonwealth countries. Next we're off again east through to South Korea, Japan. Later in the year, I'm off to India, and much more to come.